Tidy home's a happy home. Right. Welcome back to the show. And a round called And Now the News, which is our spot where the teams do a bit of role-playing as TV news hounds. Oh, how we marvel at the ingenuity of those brave war correspondents filing their reports. I mean, who can forget the sight of Kate Adie using Martin Bell's dictaphone? So, that's why she had her mouth in his trousers. Liam Milton, will you start, please, with the news for criminals?
Good evening and welcome to News for Criminals. From me, Lee Hurst, also known as Bone Crusher Harris from Derby, also known as Slasher Thompson from Glasgow, also known as Jerry from the Spice Girls. And here's Milton Jones.
You grass. I'm also known as Milton Fingers Jones.
Yeah, and tell them why you're called Fingers.
I like fish.
A man serving a long sentence for armed robbery escaped from prison today. If you know of this man's whereabouts, keep your trap shut.
At the European Burgling Championships in Versailles, Britain came away with the silver. and some cash and jewellery.
It's time for our Missing Persons Helpline. If you want to see your wife and kids safe again, leave the cash in a bag at the station under the clock.
Later on in the programme, the millionaire Sir Gordon Bottolph will be coming in for an interview. So his house, 11 Cedar Drive, will be empty.
That's empty. There'll be nobody there.
Nobody there.
He's got an alarm.
Yeah.
But it's by the door.
Yeah.
Green wire.
Yeah.
Snip, snip. Sports news now. It's nearly 5:15, so here's tomorrow's football results.
Fred and Kevin now, would you please read the news for women?
Certainly, Graham. Hello, good evening, and leave the bastard.
We'll just be doing the good news this evening because we don't want you to worry too much.
And Shane Ritchie's doorstep challenge was accepted today by a woman who decided she would swap her box of powder for 2 boxes of his powder. She's no different from any other housewife. Basically, if it gets the skid marks off your husband's pants, it's all right. Crime now. And 3 men were arrested in the home counties, so that's a start, eh?
Economic news, and there's a sale at Selfridges. Hooray!
And there's further financial news from across the water in New York, where apparently Dow Jones went down. What a nice man. Showbiz, and tomorrow's broadcast of The Time, The Place will be called The Time, The Month. Sport now, women. So if you want to go and make a cup of tea... Just joking, sisters.
Tracy Jackson shattered the 100 metres world record for women today when she came first in 8.7 seconds. She said it was a trick she learnt from her first husband. And in science news, a true story science news, scientists are developing a male contraceptive pill. That's a contraceptive pill for men. Can you imagine the chaos? So, have you taken your pill, darling? Well, blimey, now you're asking, aren't you? I can tell you won the FA Cup 1954.
And with further news of male contraception, apparently there is a new form of male contraception which involves a monthly painful injection in the penis. The consultant who has forwarded this idea of the monthly painful injection in the penis, Mrs. Anne-Marie Heath, said today, well, you've got to have a laugh, haven't you? That's all from us in the news for women. Good night.
All right, in an ideal world, it would be even all round, but in fact, I'm giving 2 to Liam Milton, and because I'm a bit scared of women, frankly, 3 to Fred and Kevin. right. It's now time to indulge in a big debate, like those people shows on TV where studio guests bicker and whine at each other every morning. But yeah, I find this little compares to the sound of a good long moan when you're getting stuck into your first buttered soldier over the breakfast table. This week's subject is school days. Are they really the best days of your life? Or just long, boring afternoons spent hoping that when you hear the term headmaster, it's a person and not an instruction? Lee and Milton will speak against the motion, Fred and Kevin will speak for, then when both sides of the argument aired, it'll be open mic time for the audience to ask questions of one side or t'other. OK, Fred and Kevin, gentlemen, could you please give your opening arguments, please, in favour of school days?
I will simply utter two words to make my case here. Nativity play. Right? You leave schools, primary schools, but you don't get to do nativity play. I went to a really progressive primary school. We had like a really multicultural school. So we had like 1 year we had a little Buddhist Joseph in the nativity play, which is nice. Didn't give a toss, there was no room at the inn. He was quite pleased the innkeeper was doing well. Right? 1 year we had a Jehovah's Witness Joseph. Innkeeper didn't even open the door. Although I imagine, I don't know, you may know, but I imagine nativity plays are a bit different now. It's like, Josephine, you're playing the Virgin. Oh, go away, miss, I'm 10, not 8.
Every day was a new adventure for us, but then we went to the Indiana Jones School for Boys.
I think cruel places school could be. I have a friend who was bald at school. And he was mercilessly picked on. I mean, there were teachers at school that were just so vindictive. I remember my old PE teacher was helping me with my bronze survival, and he dropped me into a vat of boiling bronze. I almost didn't survive.
This is true, because I remember at school, everything was forced upon you. Like, they taught you to swim. I don't know if people here had the same. We were taught to swim with those polystyrene tiles. Do you have that? Yeah? That was you go along, I can swim, I can swim. That was a cruel con, wasn't it? You know? Yeah, try now. One day we came in, the swimming pool was full of them because the roof had caved in. I still had to do it. I was unlucky. I was in last. I got a piece of rubble. You know,
All right then, look, are schools cruel, vicious, masochistic places?
Horrible.
Or are they places where children are trying to express themselves in a creative, lovely way? Let's see what our audience thinks. I'm coming amongst you. But don't worry, because we pay the dry cleaning. There's a woman here in red silky shirt. Now, what's your name?
Liz,
Liz. And what's your comment for the teams?
I'd like to ask, were any of you ever spanked at school?
Was that at school or since school?
Whatever you want.
I used to get caned quite a lot because I went to a Catholic school, but this is a true story. The assistant headmaster, the deputy head, was about to cane me once, and he uttered the classic, "This is going to hurt me more than it hurts you" line. And lo and behold, he tripped over the carpet, broke his ankle.
I have another question now, team. What's your name, sir?
My name's Craig.
What's your question?
What did you do on the last day before you went on holidays at school? What games did you bring in? What
Holidays.
games did you play, like, you know?
I can remember what happened on the last day at our school because there was a girl called Elizabeth Ann Mackay at my school, and she gave us our first sexual encounter on the last day of school. She showed her breasts. She showed us her breasts, but she didn't have any. She just kind of lifted up her blouse and said, "This is where they'll be."
I also remember my last day at school because I was a bit of a rebel, and I got a pair of scissors. I cut up my uniform, I cut up my trousers, I cut up my tie, I cut up my shirt, and then I realised that I had to go home.
I was often the butt of games in the playground. When the boys found out that I had a potentially fatal allergy to peanuts, they used to shove me up against a wall and make me play Russian roulette with a bag of Revels.
Right now, I have another questioner here. I'm crouching in a sort of Kilroy way. It's good, isn't it? All right, what's your name?
Helen.
Helen, what's your question?
Did you ever pull at school discos?
Well, I did, but there were no girls there. A kid in our school, they had a sixth form school disco, and I went to an all-boys school, and they had a sixth form disco. They teamed up with an all-girls school. And one of the boys, and he actually told the rest of us this story, which was very stupid of him because you know how cruel we are, and I'll now mention his name live on air. No, he basically, apparently he was bragging about how he'd pulled this girl at the disco, and that she then said, "Have you got a rubber?" And he said, "I haven't got any of my school equipment with me."
OK, I have one more question. One more question. What's your name, madam?
Shelley.
Shelley. Shelley, speak on.
I shall. Do they like sport now?
I had a really bad PE teacher who kind of ruined it. And he used to say that marking was a bit of a problem for him. But if he wrapped the child in a mattress first...
Surely, we've heard enough now. So, anyone who thinks school days are great, cheer now. OK, and everyone who doesn't, cheer now. Well, that was a close thing, wasn't it? Just because you're here, I'll give you one. But 4 points to Liam Milton for the debate. Hurrah! Well, as we approach the twilight of the show, I'm reminded of those prophetic words of Elton John. Don't let the sun go down on me. I only paid for the father. How moving. Now, a quick glance at the scoreboard tells me that our winners this evening are Liam Milton by 2 points. So, from Milton Jones, Kevin Day, Ed McCauley, Lee Hurst, and me, Graham Norton. It's goodbye. Goodbye.